Divorce Jeryankian right now, or get out, otherwise, you'll regret it. Chapter 26, A Contender of Beauties. As Dallas finished speaking, Otto had yet to open his mouth when Amina suddenly stood up, exuding a protective aura that blocked Otto in front of her. She angrily shouted, Colin, what are you going to do? Do what? Dallas scoffed with disdain on his face and spoke sternly. What do you think I'm going to do? This is the person you meticulously chose? Just an intern who got fired. Moreover, an orphan without parents. A good for nothing. Now, divorce this waste immediately. Otherwise, I will not recognize you as my daughter. Amina roared, no way. Otto watched the scene before him, feeling somewhat moved but also troubled. Seeing Amina's stance, he felt rather embarrassed. Such wholehearted defense for him was making him uncomfortable. He couldn't even bring himself to mention divorce now. Just then, a young man by Dallas's side whispered, Trina, this approach won't work. Though Jeryankian looks delicate, she's extremely stubborn. She is someone who responds well to softness, but not harshness. By doing this, you'll only drive her away. Dallas's eyes lit up, showing a thoughtful expression. Indeed, Amina glared at Dallas, suddenly reaching out to hold Otto's hand firmly, saying resolutely, then consider me no longer your daughter. Colin, take care of yourself from now on. At this moment, Otto stepped forward, sneering, Damien Adam, right? Whether to divorce or not, this decision doesn't rest with you. It's my call. As long as Jeryankian doesn't agree, not even the heavens can force it. Initially, Otto hadn't intended to speak up. Beside him, Amina looked astonished. Why did this rascal suddenly change his tune? Didn't he always want a divorce? But this rascal did look handsome when serious. Right then, a voice came from the doorway. Mr. Adam, are you here again to force Giannissi to divorce? Alithia walked in, wearing a black tight skirt, stepping gracefully in elegant heels. The two bodyguards at the door were held back by more guards accompanying Alithia. It's you again. Niece Casey really seems to have a deep connection with Otto. Dallas's expression was quite unpleasant. Mr. Adam, drop the niece title. We aren't exactly close, so just call me Miss Clarence. Alithia, bearing the future of the Clarence family, already exuded a powerful presence. Anger made her even more cold and fierce, to the point where even Dallas dared not say another word. After all, the Adam family paled in comparison to the Clarence family. How did you come here? Seeing Alithia, Otto asked in surprise. Instantly, her expression thawed like melting snow, revealing a radiant smile. Drake has been recovering well these days. He misses Giannissi and wants to invite you for dinner, so he sent me over. Beside them, Amina, upon seeing such beauty acquainted with Otto and calling him Giannissi, couldn't help but feel jealous, asking sourly, who is she? A patient. Otto whispered. Before Amina could question, there were more sounds of footsteps outside. This is the place. This is Xiao Andrew's home. Ilium and Kevin from Jiangzhou Hospital approached with gifts in hand. Stepping off the elevator, they were taken aback by the standoff. Several bodyguards were holding their positions outside, and inside, the atmosphere was tense with shattered glass scattered on the ground, telling the story of a family drama unfolding. Old Lawrence, maybe we should have thought twice before coming. Kevin muttered beside Ilium. Ilium sensibly backed out. Just as he stepped out, someone called him, Yunkue, what are you doing here? It was Dayon accompanied by two striking beauties almost identical in appearance, appearing at Otto's doorstep. Director Clarence, we're here to invite Xiao Andrew back to Jiangzhou Hospital. Ilium pointed at the gift Kevin carried. Dayon didn't ask further. He had more important things on his mind. How to make Otto accept him as a disciple. Meanwhile, Tisha called out directly, Giannis Andrew. Noemi sweetly chimed in, Giannis Andrew. Suddenly, Otto sensed two sharp gazes. Alithia said to Tisha and Noemi, so it's you two? How about this? Not running your nightclub properly, why come here? Tisha laughed gently, oh, KC. Nightclubs operate at night, don't they? Nothing to do during the day. Giannis Andrew is our sister's benefactor, so naturally, we came to thank him. When it came to worldly wisdom, Alithia, the young lady of the Clarence family, truly couldn't compare with the Adelia. Who were these two? They were people who had been rolling in high society and the limelight. Though the Wan family was quite powerful, operating nightclubs and mixing in the entertainment industry meant they had to interact with all sorts of people. The level at which they operated was far beyond the reach of ordinary people. This confrontation immediately revealed who was more skilled. Alithia felt a bit discomfited by this and could only give a cold snort. At that moment, Dallas's expression also turned sour as he remembered his earlier words. He then feigned a pitiful look and said to Amina, Jeryankian, forget it. Kalance, that's how it is. I'll leave. Look at what kind of person you chose. Entangled with so many people. In the future, just pretend I'm not your father. Amina suddenly felt uneasy inside. Her expression became complicated, her gaze sweeping over Alithia and the Adelia. Just as she was about to speak, another voice sounded from outside. Excuse me, is Otto here? The voice was slightly hoarse yet exuded a seductive and charming allure. A woman dressed in a neat business suit and short skirt stood at the door, her breathtaking beauty outshining all the other women present. Otto paused for a moment, then stepped forward. I am Otto. Who are you? The woman smiled, instantly exuding an alluring charm, and took out a book from her exquisite handbag. The title Good Prescriptions for Women caught everyone's attention. Otto was startled and asked, are you the person I set up a blind date with? The woman nodded with a smile. Hello, I'm Vicky. Vicky glanced around and gave a faint smile indicating, it seems like today might not be a convenient time for you. At this moment, Amina's face turned somewhat pale. It seemed he wasn't lying after all. He really did have a blind date, and he even had good prescriptions for women. It turned out it was all a misunderstanding. But why did she feel uncomfortable? Thinking this, Amina stepped forward. Colin, let's go home. Dallas was stunned for a moment, then his face lit up with joy. Okay, alright, let's go home. Finally, you've come to your senses. I told you not to keep such a scumbag. Amina sternly said, Colin. Dallas quickly replied, alright, Colin won't say anything more. At this point, Amina turned around and looked at Otto. Otto, let's finalize the divorce papers tomorrow. I'll wait for you at the Civil Affairs office. Chapter 27 Divorce. Looking at Amina, Otto suddenly felt a bit disinterested. Although the old man's judgment was as accurate as ever, Vicky's figure and appearance were undoubtedly top-notch. More importantly, Otto could sense the unique aura that Vicky emitted. This woman was definitely of the profound Yin constitution. Such a constitution would undoubtedly be of great benefit to his cultivation of the mystical heaven codex. In other words, Vicky was not just a wife the old man had found for him, but also a cauldron. Though she seemed a bit older, that wasn't important. Older was better. Older women would care more. Vicky was a little confused at this point, looking at Otto. Civil Affairs Bureau? You're married? As she said this, Vicky's expression darkened. What was going on? Married and still trying to set up a blind date with her? Did he take her for a mistress? Otto smiled awkwardly and said, this situation is a bit complicated, but the main reason is still because of you. Because of me? Are you joking? I don't even know you. If it weren't for my family urging me, I wouldn't have come to meet you at all. How can you blame me for this problem? Alithia sneered from the side. Miss Jaren, Yanisi really isn't wrong about this. It's truly your fault. If you hadn't been late during that previous blind date, Yanisi wouldn't have mistaken her for Amina. As a result, he ended up marrying her. If it weren't for you, how could this situation have arisen? Your tardiness led to Yanisi and Amina both being remarried now. Just then, Amina urged again. Colin, are we leaving or not? Dallas actually didn't want to leave. This young man seemed far from simple. If he were just a poor kid, how could Alithia and the Adelia be interested in him? The Clarence and Juan families were prestigious clans in Jiangzhou. The Adam family was merely a minor medical lineage, now fallen, at best middle upper class. And this Vicky, Dallas suddenly recalled who this woman was. She was the CEO of a new company in Jiangzhou that had recently emerged. Very influential among women, specializing in cosmetics, with a strong momentum. Did he really make a mistake? Was Otto truly a golden son-in-law? Before he could continue thinking and weighing his options, Amina walked out directly, saying in a deep voice, Colin, are you coming or not? Dallas immediately replied, Alexis, yes, I'm coming. Amina stood at the elevator entrance, looking very resolute. Otto, remember, tomorrow at the Civil Affairs Bureau in trance. Without waiting for Otto to respond, Amina entered the elevator, not even giving Otto time to speak. As Amina's family left, Ilium smiled awkwardly. Shout Andrew. Shut up. This time, Alithia and others spoke in unison. Kevin laughed. Old Lawrence, let's go back first. Dayon looked at Otto. He wanted to say something but thought about becoming a disciple soon. Knowing the saying a son should not speak ill of his father's faults, he turned and followed Ilium out. One could be a little messy in private life. After all, they were young, and everyone has their crazy moments. Soon, only Alithia, the Adelia, and Vicky were left in the room. Otto frowned. He still hadn't learned the old man's skills well enough. How could the old man play around so much yet remain untouchable? Look at himself. What a mess. KC, you go home first. I'll call you later. Alithia nodded obediently. All right, Yannis, don't be sad. This isn't your fault or Jerry Yankian's. It was all a misunderstanding. Yannis, actually, I can be your girlfriend too. As Alithia left, Tisha smiled. Yannis Andrew, we'll go too. Actually, I can do it too. Noemi beside her quipped. Yannis Andrew, I can too, you know? Seeing Tisha and Noemi with their identical mischievous expressions, Otto felt a sudden heat. Indeed, the side effects of cultivating the mystical heaven codex were terrible. He started having distracting thoughts and fantasies. These two devils, identical devils at that. Otto felt somewhat irritated inside, but at least it became quieter. Looking at Vicky standing by the door, Otto smiled awkwardly and gestured. Why don't you sit down first? Vicky glanced around the room, then swayed into it, instantly filling the air with a sweet fragrance. She smoothed her clothes along her slender curves and sat gracefully on the sofa. Otto, I didn't expect you to be so charming, Vicky said with an ambiguous smile. Otto shamelessly nodded. He casually poured a cup of water for Vicky and sat down. Who says not? This damn charm is really causing me trouble. You. Vicky was speechless. She had seen shameless people, but never someone this shameless. Looking around, Vicky put on a serious expression. I don't have much time to talk with you. Let's get straight to the point. Do you have a job? No, I was just fired, Otto responded frankly, then looked at Vicky and said, aren't you supposed to support me? That's what my old man told me. Also, don't take what happened earlier seriously. Men always have their hobbies. But it wasn't something I initiated. My charm is just too great. Once they see me, they can't resist. But you should rest assured. These people are all scoundrels. Vicky's eyes widened in confusion. Scoundrels? Otto nodded. Alexis, even though I'm married, I've kept my body pure. Amina gave me no chance at all. Married me without letting me sleep with her. Isn't that being a scoundrel? And Alithia and the Adelia, don't be fooled by their obedient appearances. They're all just after me. It's not true love. What shamelessness. Vicky couldn't help laughing out loud. She had never met such an unashamed and despicable rogue like Otto. Desiring him indeed. Why didn't he check himself in a mirror first? What does keeping your body pure mean? You probably didn't get the chance. Alright, let's postpone the marriage for now. Given your situation, it's hard for me to accept right away. To justify things to my family, you can start as my assistant at my company. The monthly salary will be 30,000 yuan. We'll see about other arrangements later. Vicky made the decision assertively without bothering to ask if Otto agreed. Her presence as a domineering female CEO was instantly revealed. Aye, that's settled. Here's my phone number. Save it. Report to the company tomorrow morning. I have some matters to attend to. I'm leaving. Vicky cut off Otto before he could finish speaking and left after making her arrangements. Otto was a bit stunned. What the hell was going on? Just moments ago, there were 5 women fighting over him, but in the end, he ended up alone. Was he now being kept? Nothing much happened overnight. After a night of cultivation, Otto looked radiant. With the practice of the mystical heaven codex, especially after the negative energy from the Clarence family entered his body, his strength had increased, but so had the risks. He couldn't continue cultivating until he resolved the issues with his body, or else serious problems would arise. As he was truly about to divorce, Otto felt hesitant. Reflecting on the misunderstanding between him and Amina, he realized that although they had developed some feelings during this short period, their relationship might have become a good marriage eventually if no one else had intervened. However, since the Adam family disagreed, and with his involvement with others, the divorce seemed natural. Should I go or not? Chapter 28. Youth doesn't know the goodness of an elder Kalister. Soon, the two walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Looking at Otto, Amina's face showed a trace of a smile. Otto, I'm sorry. I didn't expect things to turn out this way. If only back then. Otto immediately waved his hand. This has nothing to do with you. It's all my fault. Jerry Yankian, I wish you happiness. As he spoke, Otto took out everything originally belonging to Amina. Here's the house key, the bank card, and the car key. Also, here's something for me. The authorization letter is already signed by me. You can go to the government service center to change the property deed. Amina didn't put on a false front of politeness and accepted the documents Otto handed over. After checking them, she suddenly frowned. Where did you